Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. So another WWE superstar has come out to share their dislike and disdain for the WWE series WWE Unreal, which is on Netflix. Now, to be charitable to WWE, I don't think that this was like their idea. I do believe that most of the people in the back who are wrestlers and understand the business and have been around the business a very long time want to protect it. Now, Triple H seems to have this what he thinks is a forward-thinking vision of what WWE should be, and maybe some people agree, some people don't. Whatever, it is what it is. They're on Netflix and they're on ESPN and they're making more money than they ever have before. But is that the marker of true success? I don't know. Probably not. Are your fans happy? Are the wrestlers happy? Are the stories good? Maybe those are markers of success that we should actually be looking at. But I think to be charitable to WWE, I think Netflix is the one that wanted these behind-the-scenes documentary series, right? When WWE signs with Netflix, somewhere in their contract is probably like, you have to produce this number of hours of content for our channel, for Netflix, because that's what Netflix needs. It needs as much content as possible so people stay on the platform as much as possible. And I think Netflix drove them to the idea that people on Netflix love documentaries, they love behind the scenes, right? We're catering to a sort of a non-wrestling audience, which is what most of Netflix is, so let's give them a behind the scenes footage. I think that's where it came from, and then WWE saw how well season 1 did. They're moving to season 2, they're probably going to do a season 3, and all those types of things to keep cultivating this partnership, because being on Netflix is what's best for WWE right now to get more eyes on their product. So I think that's where this came about, but like most wrestlers, CM Punk has already stated it. Now we're going to hear from Seth Rollins. They dislike the idea. I think it's bad. I think it's a bad idea for the business because it takes away the allure and the mystique of what actually creates great moments and memories for fans watching. If they think, oh, this is how it was constructed in the back, or this person made this decision, or whatever the case may be, it takes away the allure. It takes away the suspension of disbelief, which is what it is when we go and be entertained by something, whether it be a WWE show or a superhero movie or whatever the case may be. And this is what Seth Rollins had to say about WWE Unreal. Seth Rollins says he cannot watch WWE Unreal. I can't watch the show. I didn't watch season 1, and I wasn't even in it. I can't watch it. It makes me feel dirty. Sharing the behind the scenes of how the stories happen and the ins and outs of the industry, that part feels like I'm just not totally comfortable with that. I'm not entirely on board with it all. Think about that. Seth Rollins is part of two of the greatest, probably the two greatest Money in the Bank cash-ins of all time. Imagine if those were leaked beforehand. The second one was kind of. There was a rumor that he was going to be back. There was a rumor that he was going to be there, that his injury wasn't real, that his injury was fake, and there's all these dirt sheet things. Now WWE has to feed random dirt sheets information so they put out this and this person puts out this, and so fans are kind of confused with what might happen, so there still might be surprises. But someone like Seth Rollins, who's produced two of the greatest moments over the last 20 years with those Money in the Bank cash-ins, is not really possible when everyone knows everything all the time and there's very little surprises. Surprises are what makes a great show. You show up to a random Monday Night Raw or a random Friday Night SmackDown and someone you never thought was going to be there is going to be there. But now you don't really suspend that disbelief because you're reading about this and it was all written in this and then the dirt sheets told me and then I knew this. It's like you go to the show to be fucking entertained. That's what the focus should be. For WWE. The focus should be great stories, building characters, and having great television so people want to come back every single week and they want to look online to see what might happen, or they want to predict stuff, or they want to look at the dirt sheets because they're interested in it, not because they just want to know every story all the time because we have to have insider information. No, I don't want to know the cool shit. The only reason I do is because I do this show and I want to try and predict things that might happen, but I don't want to be in the writer's room. I don't want to be behind the scenes. I don't want to see wrestlers putting together matches. I've been a wrestler. I know what it's like to put together a match. We're trying to put together the best match possible so that the fans think that either guy has a chance to win, and there's drama, there's excitement, there's a story, there's a hero, there's a villain, there's all these types of things when we're putting together a match. If I show all of those things, doesn't it make the match less good or less enjoyable? I don't know. That's just me coming from a wrestler's perspective, formerly, and now like a content creator, fan perspective. I'm in the same boat as Seth Rollins and CM Punk, even though I hate to admit that I'm in the same, boat as CM Punk, and I agree with CM Punk. I am in this regard, but we'll see how long WWE continues to do these WWE Unreal shows because I'm guaranteeing that the casual Netflix viewer loves the show. And it probably does great numbers on Netflix, so we'll see. And speaking of, creative control and predicting things and dirt sheets and all those types of stuff, which I'm talking about, I wrote down what I think might be a potential WrestleMania card for night one, night two. I didn't do the order. I didn't do like what is going to go on night one, what is going to go on night two. I just kind of wrote down what I see right now as of February 8th, 2026, what might be the main matches on WrestleMania 42, night one, night two. So we know main event night two is going to be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Main event night one is most likely going to be Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton versus Jacob Fatu. Potentially. Now, there's a rumor that at Elimination Chamber, Drew McIntyre is going to drop the title to Cody Rhodes. Randy Orton is going to win the Elimination Chamber, and then we're just going to see Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42 for the title. So those would be, either or of those would be the main event of night one and night two. And then you're probably going to have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Bella Twins, which I just absolutely despise. But when I'm thinking about what's going to happen, why they came back, that's probably going to be the case, even though Io Sky and Rhea Ripley are two of the best wrestlers on the fucking planet, and the Bella Twins are two of the worst wrestlers on the fucking planet. I don't get why the Bella Twins are back or why they're being featured, but I'm just thinking, like, if they are going to be featured, they're most likely going to be at WrestleMania. And then you're going to have Liv Morgan versus Stephanie McCool for that women's title. Then you're going to have Jade Cargill, hopefully, versus Bianca Belair for that title. I'm hoping that Jade Cargill loses. She hasn't defended her title in over 100 days. And the reason she hasn't defended her title in over 100 days is because she's a fucking terrible wrestler. She's an absolutely atrocious worker in the ring, and so WWE is trying to do all they can to protect her, and they're protecting her by not having her defend her title and making it seem like she's like this big bad heel and she only wrestles the best, and now she's about to fight Jordynne Grace, and most likely she's going to beat Jordynne Grace, and then hopefully we see Bianca Belair return at Elimination Chamber. She wins, and they go to WrestleMania, and Bianca Belair wins that match. I think Liv Morgan is going to win against Stephanie McCool. I think you're going to see AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. I think you're going to see a feud between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I think you're going to see Bad Bunny return after the Super Bowl, and he's going to face Logan Paul. I think you're going to see Finn Balor versus Dom Mysterio. I think you're going to see Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. Oba Femi beating Brock Lesnar. And then I think you're going to see Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. And now I'm racking my brain to see where Gunther fits in, because obviously he's going to be at WrestleMania. I'm racking my brain to see where Gunther fits in. And if Drew McIntyre loses the belt at Elimination Chamber and he loses, and then it's Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, then what does Drew McIntyre do? So maybe you just put Drew McIntyre and Gunther together. But if they do the fatal four-way of Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Fatu, and Orton, then you have Drew McIntyre in there. But the only person I don't have a spot for at this very moment is Gunther. And so, look, Ric Flair said he wanted to have another match, so just have Gunther literally murder Ric Flair in the middle of the ring for a career killer. And it wouldn't be just a career, it'd be a life. Anyways, that's a joke too far. But Ric Flair did say that he wants to have one more match. Please, Rick, don't have another match. You don't need it. Please stay home, spend some time with your family, rest up. Your career's been amazing. You're one of the greatest of all time. So those are my sort of predicted matches. I just couldn't find a spot right now for Gunther. I just don't know who he would wrestle. Obviously, he's going to be at WrestleMania. Obviously, he's going to be a big part of WrestleMania. But you have those two big matches, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and potentially Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, or Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Fatu, Orton. And then Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi is huge. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker is huge. You need a big-time babyface to face Gunther. I don't see Sami Zayn being a big part of the show. I don't see the Usos or Jey Uso being a big part of the show. I do see Gunther being a big part of WrestleMania, either night one or night two. I just haven't sorted out where he fits in and what babyface he's going to potentially demolish. So you might see a Chris Jericho return, and then a Chris Jericho versus Gunther at WrestleMania, and then again, Gunther kills the career of Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, and then does the same thing to Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's why you're going to have Oba Femi beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So that's my predictions as of right now on February 8th, 2026. Let me know what you think of that WrestleMania card in the comments down below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.